Okay, and really long match timer as well. Bit of a delayed match. Here we go. 10 seconds coming in. Don't know who we're on board with right now. It is going to be Rixie. We'll stay with him for the first hill. Subby likes to run in there. I've seen Rixie play. So we'll start with him for now. But going into it is going to be P1. We'll see how they handle this off the break. It looks like they're going to send 3 players through Barn, but King going to take care of the first push. And Feds is going to push around the outside. Near water, just trying to pick off any players trying to set up. But as I say that, Rixie and King pick off too. Rixie now pushes through the back. Already on a 3 streak, trying to flip those spawns for Adepth, but not quite going to be enough. We know how mixy the spawns can be on Bow Cage. And Huncho and Explicit trying to work this back hard, but it's not really going to yield much. They took care of the Vowels, but a lot of points going towards P1, and that's something you see. If a team can get a lot of time on P1 on this map, it is going to lead to such a tough kind of game from ZX Gaming Platinum. When you come in, you're dropping all this time on what's meant to be a pretty neutral hill, all things considered, and you're already giving away, 10 or so points on a map that's so back and forth. Spawns flip every 2 seconds. You're going in and out. Time isn't just going to be set up on one hill. You don't play for exact hills. You just kind of run at the hill and try and get trades. But coming in, Rixie having a strong start, 6-2. This is something that I was talking about before. Rixie and Avels, key factors for Adept Club. They work very well together, and they're also they've also teamed before. So the rest is quite a fresh team. Huncho having an alright game, 5-5, but ZX Gaming struggling here on this start of this bockage. Adept already going through the back, working the spawns, but they'll probably get oh my god, what was that from Avels? Rat headshots coming through, but spawns flip every 2 seconds on this map. You can't rely on just grabbing the spawns and setting up, as we see just then. But you got to try your best to try and, eliminate a lot of that flipping. And right now, Adept Club is doing a better job of that. And Val's now working the back with the AR, doing a wonderful job of stopping the spawns coming through for ZX Gaming. No one getting time yet on this P3, though. Huncho trying to work through the back now. Big kills coming out from Huncho if he can pull it off, but King going to shut it down once again. They know Huss is top grannies, so right now you got to think ZX Gaming not really in a good position for this P3. Unfortunate timing from King. Didn't quite spot him, and a good break from ZX. Just as I put some shame on their name, they come back and show me why I shouldn't be talking. 10-7 from Huncho, having a really strong start. Trying to work around this hill as best as he can. That's a 3 streak. Time to turn it around. Not going to get enough health for it. And points ticking away to Adept. Nice kill from Contested. Rixie had a strong start, but kind of fell off a little bit. It was 7-3, I believe. And this is where Bockage becomes a little bit of a trap. See, quite often, most people won't really keep a good KD on this map just because of how intense the gunfights are. There's kills and engagements happening every 2 seconds on this map. So coming through, you can't expect someone to keep a good KD. And Vals has taken over now on the kills. So you can't look at one player for this team. Contested also putting on a good show right now. 15-9 from Huncho. Can't take it away from him. The man is having a wonderful game. King through the back as well, trying to make the play. Flip these spawns for Barn and Explicit unaware. Val's picking up a 2-piece for himself also. And Rixie just taking care of that last guy. Pushed up extremely far, trying to rat some of these kills and just cut the numbers of ZX. And ZX looked really unprepared for how to deal with that. Rixie just pushed up, playing the spawns. One did get through the back or spawn to the back. Not sure either one. Probably spawned, to be honest. The spawns of this game are wild. Can't show the last line of defense for ZX here. Going to get taken down. Rixie doing a good job. Double the points of ZX. It's not impossible, but a lead like this on Bockage usually means the game is, going to pretty much go one side, but you can't count him out. Huncho still doing insanely well. 18-12. Rixie trying to soak up some of that hill time, but actually just running through. I think that Adept, I don't think they're too concerned, but Adept need to try and play some more of this time rather than just letting it go white or even dropping some points to ZX. Contested at the back. Oh my god, somehow deleting that player from ZX. It's going to be Huncho getting dropped there, unfortunately. And again, it's a white hill. I think they're just trying to go for kills, maybe pad the stats a little bit. They're double the points of ZX Gaming here, but I don't know, a bit weird from Adepth. They're not really playing the hill as much as you'd kind of expect. And Rixie got to be the last player here as they all get cut down. Explicit versus Rixie on the hill. Explicit just going to run away, not having any of that. Never mind, comes back. Rixie is hunting 4 streak almost, but Huncho going to shut it down. Still 19 and 14. Still going consistent. Avel's now sneaking his way up. Don't think he's died too much, actually. 20 and 13. That's what you want out of your AR. Just putting up the numbers, not dying too much. Playing those spawns. And you're seeing it firsthand here. Huncho still trying to play that subby in the hill. And that P1 time we saw go to Adepth Club, but it's a new set of rotations. ZX now trying to find their feet in this match. And we see it, the kill feed turning blue. Huncho trying to push forward. Gets another kill. 4 streak for Huncho, 5 streak for Huss as well. Both of these players putting on a bit of a clinic here on the Bockage. And we see the score starting to dwindle. This is the danger you get. The Bockage trap. Explicit gonna drop. Huncho got killed off his streak, but still on for Huss. 2 kills away from possibly turning these streaks into a reality. 6 streak, 1 kill away from the glide. This could be a turning point for ZX Gaming in this match. Avels in the back, just trying to play it as best as he can, but not quite enough. Us definitely has to play his streaks here. Just bait your teammates. Who cares about dropping a bit of time? Avels might walk into him soon. Never mind, he's down bottom. Didn't actually see that. Big kill here from Huss, if he can find it. Contested dropping Huncho as well. Huss really trying to find it in the back. Doesn't get the shots. Turns around. He's going to get taken out almost by a Valves, and it happens. You've got to be so upset if you're Huss. 1 kill away from securing that glide, and unfortunately shoots a little bit early. Couldn't line up the shot. Gets taken out from the AR, and that's all she wrote for Huss's streak. Still a good job from ZX to even up the score a little bit. 40-point different, making that 30 as we come to this P2, but not quite enough to keep them in this game just yet, but they're still holding on. They're still pushing for this P3. Huncho doing a good job at eliminating that scrap time, and Adepth Gaming just running at the hill rather than setting up a P3. Not sure if I like that from both King and Rixie, but Rixie grabbing that scrap time. Avel's doing a good job at stopping these kills coming through the back and the rotation coming through, but Huncho, Explicit, and Huss, pretty much the whole roster just taking care of this, these back kills, but Adept still going to spawn up. Blockage spawns. I tell you, there's something else. Contested. Trying to soak up some of this time. Takes down Huss. Pre-fires coming through. Nothing found with it, but the rest of the team is going to find some kills of their own. Rixie trying to get aggressive through the back. We've seen him try and make some damage happen, but hasn't really been too successful. ZX doing a really good job of stopping the slaying coming out from Adepth. And as I say that, Avel's picking up 2 piece for himself in the hill, but not going to be enough for Adepth to take control over it. Feds help you out. Huncho with a 30 bomb as well as Avel's. 2 different roles, but putting up the same numbers. Beautiful stuff from this team. I mean, I really didn't expect too much from ZX. Huncho and Huss really playing a good game here. Bed's taking care of that as well. Explicit trying to push into this point. Even a contest is all right. A contestant got to get aggressive, but Rixie grabbing his trade. That's what you want from your subby duo. I guess it's a trio in this map, but Rixie, 7 streak now. Finally going to secure the glide, and we're starting to near that kind of end territory for the Bockage. 30 seconds still left on this hill, and if they can secure it all, Adepth looking very favorable to win this game. 8 streak now. Still going strong. Rixie in the back line. Now trying to push through. Gets taken out from Explicit, but the damage has already come through. The glide has been secured. 34 kills for Rixie. Back and forth. Huncho also on the 34 bomb, but not able to get as much damage done as Rixie. Able to get in there. Able to play that hill. Really putting Adepth in a strong position. And we see King all the way through the back. Trying to work this with Avel's, and unfortunately, it is going to be up to Huss to try and get back here and stop this rotation, but King's already through. Glide coming in now. Not going to quite find anything, but good info for Adepth. Looks like jumping in. Not going to find much with that push. Top grannies, though. Huncho, Rixie just looking over perfectly, playing around each other extremely well. Something that a lot of, not low level, I guess, but a lot of the not as high placing teams kind of struggle with is that teamwork. King going to take out Rixie along with Feds, but at this point, not really mattering too much. This is pretty much a done game if you're Adept. The lead is pretty massive for a bow cage, but never say never. ZX always time to come back here. They're getting some good scrap time here, and it's P1. It's a neutral hill. If they can take control, Explicit trying to run through water, but King picking it up. Both teams doing really good at trying to stop those rotations, those rat kills that all the subbies love to play. Rixie on 35. Somehow finds that kill. Not sure how he found that one. Must have been a bit weak, but P1 going towards Adept once again on the third set of rotation, and it's not looking good for ZX. ZX really need to pull something out here if they are going to make this happen, and it's not really looking too good. 2 drop, it's now a 2v2. Rixie got to find one before getting killed by Explicit. Kills coming through, trades coming out, but nothing really being found from ZX. 30 points away from victory. Adept Club trying to close this out. Vels and King playing this P1 extremely well. Vels with the pistol. We've seen him get some nasty kills with this thing before. And he's doing it again. They're set up for P2, but Explicit needs to go big here. If he can pull off this rotation for ZX, it might put them in a position to at least make a comeback. P2's a hill you can get a lot of time on. Here we go. Shots coming out. Not going to find the kill. Just playing back so we can get the spawns for his team. 5 ticks away from victory, though. Adept Club looking favorable here. Rixie in the back as well. Finds one. Looking to find a second here. Huss really trying to play his life. Not going to happen. Explicit, the last man standing for ZX, and not going to come through. Huncho trying to push through, but it's not enough. And Adept close it out on a map number 1 with a pretty convincing 250 to 174. I mean, that was a bit of a roller coaster game. Adept Club in the front pocket, you know, in that lead for majority of the game. I actually don't think ZX got in the lead, but we saw some times where they were catching 39 kills from Huncho, Vels, and I believe it was contested. Beautiful stuff from both those teams, but Adept doing extremely well on this map number 1.
No, we called it.
A bit of game chat coming in here.
No, but that last game we played, like.
Not sure why Explicit's on open mic. Gotta chuck them all on mute for now. Sorry, boys. I am going to get kicked probably from this lobby, but... I mean, some of these guys with the pistol are absolutely insane. I know Val's told me he just went into the went into bots and just sat there for like hours, just using the rat, just trying to pull off some kills. Prezi. Well, I mean, you know, the trigger finger from a Val's. Bet the ladies love that. Well, he does have a misses, so maybe that's, you know, maybe that's part of the charm. We'll see. Hopefully I get chucked into podcaster, but not really. I'm just unable to change. Awesome. Thanks, boys. Appreciate that. Tuscan Search and Destroy up next. This is probably where I would say ZX does have the advantage. Honestly, if ZX can, you know, play weird and have some weird S&D strats, that's the best thing about watching some of the, you know, teams other than the top 3, you know, Mind Freak, Auglis, Point Blank, you know, apart from those teams, you see those teams versus each other all the time. So when you get to cast or watch some games like this where it's not the teams you usually see, it's always interesting to see the search. Some plays, you know, not so smart, but some get, you know, pulled off. They make ready? The play.
Hustle.
So we'll have a look.
Yeah, sweat.
They're ready. Awesome. Oh, wait, I might have to switch the teams around. Never mind. I'm all good. And coming to map number 2, Tuscan Search and Destroy. We'll see how this goes. I think that what might be Adept's downfall in this map could be Rixie. He likes to really just push up and get aggressive, and I think he might get caught. He might get caught out on some of those rotations. Some of those lanes might be cut off. We'll see. I know ZX is in a team that puts a whole lot of time into their setups and rotations, and they kind of just play off of a bit more natural skill. That makes sense. Their gun skill, not so much on setting up. But who am I to say? Maybe they spend hours on end practicing. I'm not sure. I'm just kind of talking from my perspective and what I know about these teams, but looks like the lobby has crashed again. Can't wait till MW 2. Hopefully the next 2 years is exactly like this. I hope that you can't join a lobby. And you have to do... Okay, I've been joined by Haas. Sorry, buddy, I'm not in. Yeah, I hope the next 2 years is exactly like this game. It'll be phenomenal, wouldn't it, boys? Okay, Haas, I need you to... How do I open up settings on... Yeah, I'm just going to leave. Sorry, Haas. Who's in? Avels. Can't join... Rixie. But here we go. Awesome. But yeah, as I was saying, Tuscan Search, these teams, very interesting. So stick around. Here we go. All right, teams are sorted. Team names the right way. Match scores done in chat. All that's left is them for them to start it. That's got a bit of a weird S&D map. Not weird, but a bit. There's a lot of angles, a lot of different spots that you can get shot from. Not too many routes though. It's pretty hard to make a route. It's kind of a stalemate in Tuscan Search, which is kind of a shame. But we'll see how they deal with it. We'll see how they play it. Tuscan Search and Destroy map number 2, Adepth Club, versus ZX Gaming. Map number 1 going to Adepth Club, and if they play like they did in the Bockage, then most likely Adepth is going to take this map, but I wouldn't count ZX out. An interesting team. Might have some tricks up their sleeve. We'll find out. Tuscan map number 2. Saw Huncho put up some big numbers for ZX. I think Rixie and Avels and Contested had a 39 bomb as well. Here we go. And already Huncho getting through bottom church. Not so where did he get the legs to do that? Here we go. First blood. Contested. Avels dropping. And this is what I was saying. You can't count the teams out. Rixie, though, trying to play through this field side. Going to find Feds. That's at least one more player that they don't have to worry about. Unfortunately, King not going to get it. Some body shots coming through from Huncho. And ZX making it look a bit easy on this map. Round number 1. Rixie, though, left in the 1 versus 3. Not over till it's over. Gets 1 kill here. Rixie, the veteran of the scene. He's about 35,000 years old. But we'll see where that veteran knowledge is going to get him. Big Shell does find him. No pre-fires coming through, but does get explicit now. 1 versus 1. Makes the read. Doesn't reload. Almost Y-wise. If only he could get a bit more confident. He almost had the 1 versus 3. Finds a second. Aims it up, but reloads. Not sure why. Definitely had enough bullets there to fight a gunfight. 75 damage. Not enough for Adepth to pull it off. Almost Rixie with the 1v3, but ZX going to take round number 1. Huncho, the key, really the star player for ZX here. Huss as well, being that duo with him. And here we go. Round number 2, 1-0. ZX Gaming going to be off to a good start. Rixie going to get caught on the cross. Not sure where he thought he was going. That's definitely the most dangerous play I think I've seen in recent times. But King got to pop some shots. Playing the heady perfectly. If Val's going to come in, almost gets killed by Feds. And Huncho through again. They're just letting Huncho through into the back every time. Explicit helping him out as well. Now a 2 versus 1. Contested on the other end now in the clutch. Almost getting the 1v3 Rixie. Contested now. Having to pull it off for himself. Does get the info, but shots coming in. Bit premature, and he is going to get shut down. ZX Gaming off to a good start here. 2-0 in this Tuscan Search. If I was to guess, it would probably be Bockage going towards Adepth and ZX choosing Tuscan. By the way, it's playing out, but not sure how the vetoes went. Good couple of rounds from ZX here. Good showing. 3-1 from Huncho. Rixie also 3-2. It's just Huncho's getting through every time. I don't know how. We'll see. We'll spectate him for this little start. Contested going to get shot at. Runs back, and here he is again. Bottom church. The pressure's already on. Contested not looking for it, but does almost a bit windy, but he takes care of it. The rest of the kills come through, and finally Adepth Club on the upper hand here. 1 versus 4. Huss going to have a tough time here to try and pull off this round. Would have gone the info. Don't know why King's shooting there. Probably should have waited for him to come out a little bit and taken the gunfight, but here we go, the collapse. It's going to be a man on a mission here for Haas. Almost gets a second, does find it. Almost maybe a third. I was hopeful. I was ambitious. Not quite enough, but Adepth taking their first round there. 2-1, ZX Gaming, unfortunately falling, but they're doing a really good job here of finding those openings. Huncho, the route man for ZX. You know what they say? Their route man gets paid, and he's getting paid. 4-1 for Huss as well. Huncho and Huss, the duo, the dynamic duo, the brothers in arms, playing extremely well in both of these matches, or maps, I should say, but here we go, a mid push coming out, and Vals and King going to take care of two of ZX Gaming members, and just like that, the round flipped on its head, going towards Adepth Club. Huss trying to aim up mid. Oh my god, thinks that thing's an AR. Uses the MP40 like an auto. Getting a nice pick there. He's going to be Rixie getting dropped. Val's now getting aggressive. We've seen what he does with that pistol, but it's not going to be enough to take down Feds and find a kill. And just like that, 2v2, it's all evened up. ZX Gaming doing a good job to stop the bleeding. King going to take down Huss, though. Now it's all up to Feds. 1 versus 2. Feds trying to find his way through here, top plat. Bomb down, 24 seconds left. Not a lot of time for Feds to work with, but can definitely try and pull it off. And unfortunately, they're just doing ring around the rosy around each other. Pops the bomb. The timing could not be any worse. And ZX going to fall in another round. 2-2 now. Adepth Club evening it up. Bit of back and forth here, but 2 rounds going towards ZX in a row. 2 rounds going towards Adepth in a row. And the momentum has shifted completely. 5-2 from Huss. Having a great game. King also helping out on the side of Adepth. Val's dropping 4 kills as well. Here we go. B hit from ZX. And I mean, surely if you're Adepth, you've got to assume that they're hitting B. They haven't done a hard B hit this entire game, but Adepth not making the read. ZX doing a good play here. Now able to get through. Huncho leading the charge. The cavalry is through. King going to get the first blood, though. Huncho dropping. Now King trying to play this B site for the sake of his team. The only one there. Aval's now with the AR trying to get these beams. Does get some wallbangs through. Feds now dropping down. Going to get King. Contested helping out on the other side of the map. Killing Explicit and Huss dropping as well. It's all up to Feds in a 1 versus 3. Not going to happen. Adepth now 3 rounds in a row. Getting that momentum going. 2-3 now. Finally taking the lead in this map. And what a showing we're seeing from Adepth. They were struggling really bad against the aggressive playstyle of ZX at the start. But now we see them switch up. They're playing a little slower. They're playing safe. And it's really paying off for them. That aggression only gets you so far before you start after playing a little smarter. Doing some strategy. See how Huncho's got to play it. Bomb going towards A. Bit of a 2-2 split here. Val's playing that top 5. That heady is disgusting if you can get it going. And just as I say that, Val's getting 2 kills for himself. Gets the one top church. Drops him down to the truck. And Huncho falling. Now Adepth get their 4th round. I mean, what a showing so far from Adepth. They go down 2 rounds, and then they think, you know what, it's time to wake up. It's time to switch on. Vals and King doing a good job. 1-6 from Explicit. Having a bit of a rough start here. Oh, I guess not a rough start, but a rough go, I should say, of this map. See if he can pull it together. Val's lining it up. Feds versus Val's. I got to say, Val's probably has the advantage there. Huncho picking up 2. Not sure where Contested and King were going. Going for a dip in the well. Gets taken out. Now 2 versus 4 Adepth Club. We've seen them being able to pull back from these situations, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do it this round. Very set up. They're playing very safe, very far back. Maybe just waiting for that info on the bomb plant. Bomb going towards A. And Huss pushed up pretty far. We've got Feds locking down that field side. And there we go, lined up Godhead. He's going to take down a Vals. Rixie now inching his way forward. Finds Feds. Going to get deleted. See you later. Head decapitation. Rixie trying to pull off a 1 versus 4. He almost put off the 1 versus 3 early. Maybe this is his redemption arc. Takes down 2. Now a 1 versus 2 situation for Rixie. Bomb is down. 23 seconds left on the clock. Explicit. Trying to play through the mid. Rixie knowing he has some time up his sleeve, but not a lot. Going a full wrap. I'm not sure why he's taking such a long route. He knows that he has 2 people to find and not a lot of time to work with. Finds Explicit. Might be able to get the kill. Doesn't come through, and Explicit stops that dead in his tracks. 3-4 now. ZX finally taking a round back. It was 2-4. 4 rounds in a row for Adepth, and sometimes all that matters in Search is swinging that momentum back in your favor. They were 2-0 up, started off hot. Adepth said, you know what? It's time for us to wake up. They drop 4 rounds. You've got to think, okay, what do we got to change? What do we got to do different here? And they're trying to make that change. 3-4 now. ZX Gaming. Val's playing that church heady again. Rixie helping him out. This might be match point if ZX can't pull off this clutch. And you've got to think ZX have a tough round ahead of them. Bomb already going down on B. Definitely the hardest side to hold. But Haas snaps onto Rixie. Laying down in the grass. Rixie. Unlucky Joel. Going to get taken out. Us left in the 1 versus 3 now. Finds another. 1 versus 2. Would be on for the ace if he was to clutch this. 29 seconds. A lot of time to work with here. But they are playing tight. They're trying to play their trades. Holding hands in the back of Vals and King. King not sure where to play. Huss really needs to pick up the pace here. Not a lot of time. And it's not going to come through. There's absolutely no way he wins this. 3-5 match point coming through now for Adept Club. Just play the kills if anything. And yeah, ZX not looking good here in map number 2. Shots coming through, but Adept Club taking this to a match point. 3-5 now. It's going to be tough for ZX. Backs against the wall. All you got to do is... Okay, all you got to do, like, I make it sound easy, but what you've got to try and do, I should say, is not let it get to you. Not let the mental outweigh how you're playing. Or I guess, impact how you're playing too much. You start getting in that negative mindset. You start doubting yourself. The team isn't playing as fluid. Val's on the weaker head glitch, but trying to find some of those wall bangs. Not going to come through. And look at King all the way in the back. This is a massive flank, but they pick it up. Huss ready for it. Sixth sense. Spidey senses a tingling. Going to take down 2 now. Adept striking back. 3 versus 2. Us now. He's on a 4. If they do pull this through, they do pull this off, and they pull this round off. Huss in a very good situation if he doesn't get dropped, but Val's giving absolutely zero care in the world. Feds taking out 2 though. Somehow finds a contested and Val's. Now Feds making this 1v3 a lot more reasonable. 1 versus 1. No info for him to go off, but just playing safe. He has the AR. It might come through. Rixie versus Feds. Feds spots him. Might pull out the AR. Rixie on the back foot, but beams him off the heady. I have no idea how Rixie got that. Disgusting shots from Rixie. What did I just watch? I was all over the place. I didn't expect them to get into an engagement that quick, but we see Rixie here. Beams him off the heady. Feds gets first shots. What a kill from Rixie, securing the game for Adept. And we move on to a 2-0. What did I just see from Rixie? A massive chell. An old timer, but still has the gunny with him. Wow. Feds. When it came down to the crunch, just couldn't pull it off. Mental pressure had to be a factor there.
God. Right, they're just every fucking round, 100. They're just still running it, God. You love it. Legit.
Just letting them have a bit of a yarn, a bit of banter between the teams. We love a little good sportsmanship. I know Haas's team, ZX, they are known for they can get a little bit loud in the comms before and after games, but good to see some sportsmanship between both the teams. Trying to look at I don't use keyboard, so trying to look at how to unmute and mute the enemy team, but Either way. A disgusting kill from Rixie. DX getting taken out in number 2. And I think they're trying to make this a quick 3-0. Val said to me as well, if there's any game mode we're going to lose, it's going to be Search. And they're trying to make it a 3-0. Just a disrespectful child from Rixie, just really trying to go for the highlight play, and he does pull it off. Now, Tuscan Control, if you're ZX, you've got to just be feeling a bit defeated. Fed so close to getting 1v3. You lose both maps. You're going on to the third one. It's pretty rough. Just gonna unmute, and then at the end of the game, if the chat gets a little bit rowdy, I'll just leave. But Rixie is 18, maybe 18 years away from having a midlife crisis, but he's getting up there, mate. I think F11 mutes game sound, Blue, but it's all good. We'll see. We'll try it out. F11. Okay. F11 does nothing. Good to know. Only it just doesn't do anything. I don't know. Vanguard things. Not even going to worry about it. ZX need this map to stay in it. Match point for the series. Adepth Club. 2-0 up now. Going into map number 3. Quick game's a good game. They're trying to wrap it up in about 40 minutes. ZX. Trying to stop it. Here we go, starting off the control. Rixie might be the first to strike, and he does. Huncho gets dropped. Trying to get some body shots, I believe, into Huncho there. Rixie being a little bit cheeky, but bit even. Trades coming through. And here we go. Tick's coming on to B. Something you don't see too much from a Tuscan Control. This is what you need to do if you are going to try and take this map and take an attacking side on Control. You need to work this B site kind of early. And immediately they've hopped on A. They're grabbing some good time here. Rixie somehow finding a kill on the Feds there, but Huncho trading it out. Now contested, pushed up into fire. Explicit going to take care of that. Trades coming through left and right for ZX, playing very, very well. And some more shots coming from Huncho. A was secured, so now it's all up to B. A lot of time to work with. A lot of lives to work with. But this is where you start to see Adepth. When you're on the defense, they start pulling off. Oh my god, Rixie almost getting another one. But not quite. You start to see the defense here trying to pull, I guess, further away from being a bit more even. A bit more... It starts to become a more defensive sided once that first point drops off. Because it's way harder to get to this B point. And if you're ZX, you just got to play patient. You just got to try and play for the picks. Try and find those picks where you can get it. But as I say, that Huz taking out Huncho. Doing a little bit of team shotting there. And Adepth, as I said, when the B site is active and the A site isn't, the A drops, you start to see where the control really differentiates itself. So you really need to get an advantage if you attack on that A site and then hit the B. Or at least that's usually how it goes. Us not checking the door corner, and he is actually going to give away his position. Aval's now trying to get aggressive. Push through. We've seen what he did with this rat earlier. We'll see how he pulls this off. Does find one. Husk on a drop. Subby in hand now as well. Aval's usually the main AR for this team, but now getting aggressive with a subby, showing he can do it all. Dual welding the AR and sub. Now, trying to push through. 4 streak. All over ZX. Adepth finding the kills where they need it. And all lanes being covered. King now pushing through. He's going to find another one. The reaction speed extremely slow for King there. Val's finally going to get taken out off that 5 streak. At least that's one saving grace. 3 lives left for ZX. Not really going to happen. And the last player, Hus. Contested, taking care of him. I mean, this is not looking great if you are ZX, but it's always going to look favorable to defense on a control. Defense is almost always at the advantage. So going into it, all good. Reset, regain, map number 3. We're down 2-0. We don't want to go 2-0 down in round count here in the control. Let's just regain, reset defense. They know what they need to do. They just need to pull it off. ZX ready to defend, and a solid B push here from Adept. Just trying to get aggressive, and somehow doesn't see the guy to his right. Huncho now picking up 2 for himself, maybe a third, but contested is going to find one of the trades. Get that a second, maybe even a third here. Explicit just trying to pre-fire, but here comes Adept like a train just smashing through the defense from ZX, and King now able to get a good chow. Rixie also soaking up this time. You've got to try and split your resources if you are ZX. They are going to do a good job of trying to get rid of B, and they did do it. They at least cleared the pressure. Now you've just got to think, is it worth sending live towards A? And if Explicit can find 2 kills here, it will definitely be worth it. 2 ticks already going towards Adept. If you're going to try and make a push, it's got to be now from ZX, and he is trying to get aggressive. Huncho not quite finding it. Huss in the back, trying to find a third. Almost getting it, but A looking all but lost. But somehow ZX actually finding a way to keep in there. Stopping that bleeding. ZX doing a nice job on the defense. Huss also finding his way through. We see him being the route man for this team time and time again. And once again, he's found his way into the back, and that pressure just gets immediately on to Adept to try and solve that thorn, or try and get rid of that thorn in the side of their team. But Adept has found their way. Oh my god, Avals with the pistol is not scared of anything, using it like it's an MP40. I mean, that thing basically is like a 3-bullet kill. Rixie now getting aggressive. 2 dropping for Adept. King the last player alive. The pressure found on B, but lives very even going into this B site. A does go towards Adept. This is a good position if you are ZX. Low lives going into B means you only have to stop a couple of waves from Adept. And you don't have to worry about the tick. You just play your lives, contested. Trying to get back some of those numbers, and does so very successfully. Drops 2 as Rixie helps him out with a third. Feds finding another for himself, but Feds having a real rough game here. 5 and 12. You can't afford to lose this round if you're ZX. You need to pull it together. 1 or 2 more waves, 50 seconds left. Not a lot of lives to work with for Adept. And getting aggressive, Huss going to find Rixie. Now Avels trying to hold this angle with the AR, and he does successfully. Contested, finding Feds. This is a situation you do not want to be in if you're ZX. Lives are being cut, but they might just scrape together a win here on this defense. It's pretty close. 4 versus 4. Feds getting the first pick. King going to trade it out. Now Huss getting the trade onto King, and it's now a 2 versus 3. This is what you want if you are ZX. Neck and neck. Lives so even. 2 versus 2. Explicit in the back, trying to find this kill in a contested. Huss finds Avals, and there it goes. ZX finally getting the round that they needed. 1-1. Very, very close. But ZX pulled it off, and that's all that matters. Ticks are the exact same for both teams. Kills going towards Adept. I'm pretty sure it gets worked out on kills if you don't get the ticks, and it goes to a round 5, which is looking like it might. But now ZX have the struggle of attacking. How are they going to handle this? We'll find out. I think a big factor will be utilizing Huncho. His routing is extremely good. Feds already getting that first blood. Huncho finding his way through the back as well with Feds. And now ZX can start to get a little bit more aggressive. They don't know Feds is through, or Huss, sorry. Let's go through, but contested not able to get the turn and burn onto Huss. 3 streak as well. Rixie having a very solid game here. But ZX still finding a way to make this attack looking a little plausible. Unfortunately, Huss not really with the trigger finger like Avals, but not bad by any means. Rixie trying to get aggressive, trying to slay out. Be that route man for Adept. 2 dropping for ZX. Huncho striking back. There it goes, another trade. Shots going out. Rixie ratting in the spawn like this is going to be very tough for ZX to really do much. They do get onto B. At least some time going through, but King shuts it down single-handedly, and that's not going to be good for ZX, and King picking up the third. Wow. King doing a great job there for Adepth. 18 to 18. Rixie just playing on the point. Two people are going to drop in front of him, but they find him. Huncho and Huss. The duo trying to find some kills for ZX. But again, it's on this B side. It's so tough if you're an attacker trying to make this work. Life count going towards, I was about to say ZX, but it just gets evened up as I go to speak. Bit of commentator's curse, but contested now getting aggressive. Huss finding that trade. Huss doing a really good job of finding the trades. Really playing towards the team. It's just all on Feds here. If they want to pull this off, Feds needs to pick up his game. Start dropping some more kills. Just start winning those gunfights. And they're not going to go towards ZX. 9 to 11. Slight advantage towards Adept. A minute to work with. B needs to get capped. Unshow. Trying to find his way through P5. But it's just so rough to try and get any sort of angle here for ZX. This is match point in the series. It's not what you want to be up against. 7 and 10. They are doing all right on the life department. It's not too uneven. Huss going to get trades, but you can't go for trades. You need to start picking them off one by one. Start cutting those numbers. 4 to 8 now. It's a whole wave difference in life count. Feds getting a big kill onto Avels, though. It's going to clear the way for some of the players of ZX. And as I say that, pretty much the whole team gets cut down. All up to one player, and that is going to be Adept taking round number 3, sorry, going up 2-1. And match point for the series. Match point for the map. ZX really having a tough time here on this control. 29 kills from Rixie. The veteran. Old but gold for this team. Has some good insight. King popping some shots, but Feds just going to absolutely delete him off that head glitch. And now Rixie, 4 streak accruing for him. The glide bomb may be on the cards here a bit later into this round. We shall see. Start of something for sure. Fed's going to run into his line of sights, but there we go. Getting the revenge onto Rixie. Doing what he did to him in search on the control, but unfortunately the kill not as impactful. Huss finding a second for himself before getting traded out. Now, Explicit trying to find his way through, just not getting that kill on a Rixie, getting out with his life, 6 HP, one more bullet would have done it. Huncho unaware, maybe the comm didn't come through, but Rixie now able to rat, able to get a little bit aggressive, start cutting down the opposition and contested, pick up a nice kill for himself. A starting to go towards him, but a big nade from Huncho. King now trying to push through the mid and try stop any regression, but not going to be enough. Unfortunately, ZX just looking outclassed here on all of these maps. It's so tough. Huncho through the back. Might be in a big position here to do some major damage. Still up on life count. That is big if you are going to be defense. Big kill from Feds. Feds starting to pick up his game a little bit. Getting some kills on the board. Huncho now. Able to push through, and Avels the back all by himself. Does spot Huncho. Didn't know that. I think Avels and Huss walked past each other. Unfortunately. Neither of them are going to find that info. And here we have it. Teams going left and right at this hill, or players, I should say, and Adept finally finding that breakthrough. Feds, the last person left here on this push, this wave, and B starting to get capped. Oh, thought he had it. Glide bomb coming through now from contested. Rixie trying to get aggressive through 35 kills. Probably going to get a 40 straight if he continues. 4 kills off of it. Huss alone on the point does find King. And this might go to round 5. Unfortunately, the tick was collected at B, so it is going to be attack for ZX. And I think even if it does go to round 5, it's not going to go to ZX's favor. But never say never. Always in it. We see it all the time in COD. Just never out of the fight. King picking up 2, though. Val's doing a good job of finding that kill. Now a 5 versus 5 defense, definitely with the advantage, but we'll see the setup here. Huncho playing that heady, trying to find the second contestant, going to find it. 2 versus 3. ZX now trying to make a clutch happen. Ticks coming through. At this point, forget the ticks. Just play for the kills. And that's 3 on. You've got to start cutting the numbers. Explicit gets 1. Immediately, the trade comes through, and Adepth got to find it. 3-1 in the map. 3-0 in the series. And, I mean, that's just something else. Adepth Club doing a good job. Making it look easy. 3-0. And that's really where you come in. First match, of the ACCL. We came off with a bang. 3-0 sweep from Adepth Club. Beautiful work from both these teams. ZX doing a good job showing that they're very capable. Showing that they have what it takes. They just need to clean up their game a little bit. But Adepth Club just too good in this series, in this match. And I'm pretty sure there's no other matches lined up. And that's all we got